I've always had this belief, never get with a female who had multiple baby daddies. So every time I would get in an argument with my wife, I would always bring that up. I would be like, man, you got 2 baby daddies, man, you trash. I should have never even got with you. My wife asked me, she was like, all the females you dated before we got together, how was the relationship with them? I was like, it was trash. It was horrible. So she said, I got 2 baby daddies and I've treated you like a king. And you've seen the other side where you've been with females who don't have kids and they treated you horrible. So why would you still carry this belief? And I couldn't even answer that question. I'm like, she's like, you have the proof that I've treated you better than females you've been with who have no kids. So why are you still hanging on to this belief if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't help you? Because for some reason I use it and brought it up in every argument. And she really made me sit back and self-reflect, because a lot of people hold on to limiting beliefs. They stay attached to those beliefs and we don't even know why. I don't even know why I stayed attached to it when I get treated good. But I had a close friend of mine. I told him that, the argument or the discussion I had with my wife about this limiting belief I had to never date a female with multiple baby daddies. And he said, I got the same belief. And I asked him, I was like, where did you learn it from? He couldn't even answer the question of where he learned it from. But the sad thing about his story, he's with a girl that doesn't have kids, doesn't have baby daddies. He got the girl that he so-called wanted. He told me that he still thinks about this girl that he used to talk to, and she had 2 baby daddies. And he said the reason he chose to not go and build a relationship with that girl is because of that limiting belief. He was taught that, don't date a female who got multiple baby daddies or multiple kids. And he said that female treated him so good, and to this day, he still thinks about her. And he's not even in love with his girlfriend in the relationship that he's with now. He takes her out to dinner. He takes her out to the movies. But he told me that he don't even really like doing it. He just does the normal things that he feel like a man should do in a relationship. And I feel so bad for this girl because she doesn't even know my homeboy feels this way about her, that he's still thinking about this girl who has 2 baby daddies and multiple kids, that he wishes he would have just went against that belief and chose that girl instead. And he's pretty much going to suffer the rest of his life, because he told me that even though he really doesn't want to be with this girl, that he's afraid to be alone, because from what we see and hear, it's nothing good on the market. It's nobody out there, so just hang on to what you got. But all off of that belief, he going to suffer the rest of his life when he could have got that girl that treated him so good, that he really was in love with. But he broke that off just because of that belief, somebody who taught it to him. He don't even know who taught it, because the belief is just something that you develop from an experience you go through, which doesn't necessarily mean that belief is true, just because you went through an experience and you came to that conclusion of that belief. And then a belief is also something that's passed down through a relative or somebody you look up to, a religious figure, a teacher, but it's passed down from somebody else. And the crazy thing about that is, when those beliefs are passed down from somebody else, you basically live in life through somebody else's perspective, through their view and their lens. So you're not even being your true self and doing what you really want to do. You adopting somebody else's beliefs. And unfortunately, my homeboy has to secretly suffer in his relationship and be sad, wishing that he would have chose that girl and went against that belief that was passed down to him. Luckily for me, I went against the grain, even though I argue with my wife, and it's crazy that I would argue with her 15 years into the relationship, man. And I would bring that up and use that as a degrading tactic in my argument, to make it seem like I was better than her, like I was, I don't have multiple baby mamas, which none of that stuff really matters, man. Trust me. Because I've been with females that my life was horrible. I was sad. I was miserable, depressed, and I'm with my wife and I get treated greatly. And I can admit I'm the problem, and a lot of the issues came from my prior trauma and things I've been through in my life, to create these situations in my marriage now, which almost caused me to ruin my marriage, because I would look at my wife in a weird way, all off of that belief I was taught as a child, a teenager growing up, and not being able to see the full beauty right in front of me of how good I'm being treated. But I just want to leave y'all with that message, man. I want to make y'all aware, because I know a lot of people that's just the key to everything. You know, you just got to bring the attention to people and let them know, man, we all have limiting beliefs that stop us from progressing or evolving in life. And I just want to help people overcome that and just bring awareness to that issue, man, because I almost ruined something good right in front of me, man, all off of belief. And like I said, my homeboy, unfortunately for him, he's going to be in that situation sad probably for the rest of his life, daydreaming about that girl with the 2 baby daddies. She obviously moved on and having a great life. And he probably checks up on her from time to time because he's sad and miserable. And that's just the way it is, man. But adopting other people's beliefs, man, to have you not living and being your true self and chasing your dreams and doing what you want to actually do in life instead of listening to what somebody else taught you and living their life and what they did in their life. It may have worked for them, you know, because some people have bad experiences. Some guys do have experiences with bad females, you know, the way they don't want to be a stepdaddy. But I can honestly say God's honest truth. My experience with my wife and her, she has 2 baby daddies. My life has been great with her. The dads are not even in the picture. So I live a great life and I don't have to deal with the baby daddy drama. But that's not the same for everybody. And I get it. And I do wish the best for those guys who have to go through situations like that with the stepdaddy problems and all of that stuff, man. I pray for y'all. Like I said, man, I wish the best for anybody who going through that. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. And hopefully I'll see you next time. And let's all get this awareness, man, down on lock so we can know what's going on and control our life and stop being controlled, you know, by somebody else's beliefs. Thank you.